The source of all good, truth, and power is found in the light. It flows throughout the universe and reaches all, and the Traveler is the source of the light which we as Guardians have sworn to protect. On today's episode of Dismantling Destiny, we're going to answer the question, who are the Guardians? Buckle up, because this is going to be a little long. The Traveler was found in our present-day Mars, and its arrival blessed humanity and brought in a new golden age. But the brighter that humanity shone in the dark of our solar system, the larger the target on our back grew. Eventually, the forces of the darkness caught up with us and forced us into a new dark age. The Traveler sacrificed its power and fell into a deep sleep. But it didn't leave humanity defenseless when it did so. Now a beacon of whatever hope was left, the Traveler became a symbol for all of humanity who came flocking to its vicinity, refugees from the prosperous society that they once knew. Among the people were floating companions known as ghosts. They searched all over to find those who were worthy to become one of the risen. Every light bearer is raised from the dead without any memory of their past life, and they are imbued with immense power because of the light. At first, not all light-bearers used their powers for good. Groups of power-hungry light-bearers tried to rule the earth through conflict. These warlords were the tyrants over all of humanity, but eventually, a morally upstanding group of light-bearers banded together to create the Iron Lords. The Iron Lords used their powers for good. They overthrew the warlords and pushed off the fallen which were threatening all of humanity on Earth. Over time, Guardians banded together to form a single refuge for everyone. They built up the defenses around the last city and formed the Vanguard, the head of Guardian operations. The Titans were tasked with fortifying defenses, the Hunters went out and explored what was left of the solar system in the wild, and the Warlocks stayed and researched and studied more about the light. Over the centuries, we've held back our enemies through our defenses in the last city. And there are a number of battles recorded in Destiny's history that I'd like to touch on here. Now, I'm not going into any immense detail because that is way too much for this short video. But here's a few. Some battles include the Battle of Six Fronts, when 4 different orders of Titans protected the city on 6 different fronts. That's actually where Titans get their symbol from. 4 different orders, 6 different fronts. The Great Disaster, where the Vanguard attempted to take back the moon from the Hive but failed miserably. The Battle of Twilight Gap, which was a huge fallen force in their last attempt to take the city, and this was a really important victory for the city, and it disbanded some of the fallen houses in this conflict. We also have the Reef Wars, which took place in the asteroid belt between the Awoken and the Fallen, but there's not much of a Guardian presence here. And if any of these interest you, I'd encourage you to look them up and try to find out more about them, because Destiny's lore and history is immensely deep. Now I'd like to talk specifically about you as the Guardian. Our character in the story Destiny plays the protagonist, and we have a lot of different titles. The Guardian, the Chosen One, the Young Wolf, Godslayer, among others. There are even some occasions where characters speak of a guardian savior that was prophesied to come and save all of humanity in its most dire moment. That guardian is you. Again, I'm not going to go into detail, but here's a quick summary of what our character has done throughout the course of the game. One sec, I just need to print out the list of everything that we've done. Just give it a sec. Now, I'm going to be spitting out a lot of words at you, so don't mind if you don't understand absolutely everything. A lot has happened over the course of 7 years. And again, if any of these topics interest you, I suggest researching it a bit more. Find out about our character's history. Now, our character defeated the Heart of Darkness in the Black Garden, killed the Hive God Prince, named Crota, helped save the Reef and the Awoken from the fallen House of Wolves, killed the Hive God Oryx, which is Crota's dad, and stopped the forces of the Taken in the Taken War. We helped Lord Saladin push back Siva, which is a nanotechnology, in the Cosmodrome. All of that is Destiny 1. That's all that happened in the first game. Now in Destiny 2, the city was attacked by Gaul, who tried to capture the Traveler, and we defeated him and his Red Legion in the Red War. In this conflict, the Traveler was awoken in a big burst of energy throughout the whole solar system, which really led to the rest of the game's story happening. We helped Osiris, the legendary warlock, stabilize the time streams on Mercury. We helped Anna Bray, a legendary hunter, kill the hive worm god Zol on Mars. In the expansion Forsaken, the hunter vanguard named Cade 6 died. We also helped cleanse the dreaming city of the forces of the Taken, sort of. Later in the Shadowkeep expansion, we found a darkness ship on the moon, which really brought that character, or that force, to the forefront in the story. Since then, we saved Saint 14, the legendary Titan, from the Vex time streams. We have stopped the Red Legion from destroying the city once again. The Black Fleet, a whole ton of darkness ships, arrived in the solar system. Most recently, in the Beyond Light expansion, we started wielding the darkness in the form of stasis, and we stopped the Fallen, who were also trying to wield the darkness in the form of stasis, but they were going to do it for bad things, you know? Right now, we just left a war with the Cabal, and we're trying to stop a Vex simulation over the city. And the future right now is not looking very great. But the story is better than ever. Now, I know I've said a lot of nonsense words in this video for those of you who aren't familiar with Destiny's story, but I hope it entices you to look more into the story. Lately, storytelling in Destiny has been the best it has ever been, and I'm so excited to see where it goes. If you're interested in reading more about the lore, head over to the Triumphs tab and open this lore section. There's a ton of books that you can read from. Also, a lot of unique weapons have their own lore tab on the left. There's also an incredible lore community in Destiny. If you want some more deep dives into Destiny's lore, I'd recommend some YouTube channels like My Name is Byth and Mylan Games. You are the Guardian, the chosen one to save humanity in its most dire moment from the darkness. No pressure. Thanks for watching. See you next time.